Hey everyone, welcome back to Trunk Talk. My name is Charlotte.
And I'm Pat.
And this is the show where we talk about all things automotive. Now, today, we're doing it a little bit less vehicle focused and more so industry focused because we got Pat Hart here. And he's not only my bestie and my dad, but you're my boss. So what do you do?
I'm the dealer principal here at Brantford Kia, and I'm involved in our automotive group with my business partners. And I don't know, what do I do?
Not much. Golf's a lot. No, just kidding.
Really badly.
Yeah. But this is kind of a follow-up episode from one that we did, I think in April, when we were talking about what it was like for you starting up a dealership.
Yeah.
And the start in the industry. So if you haven't listened to that one, go and do so first because, like I said, this is kind of coming after. We're doing some follow-up from some of the questions on that one too. And the goal of today is we're talking a little bit about what is industry standard like for dealership? How is Brantford Kia different? How are some of the things that we choose to do them? And yeah, also taking a look at some stereotypes. So it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be fun today. No plaid jackets in tow, but that's fine. So what would you say, so if anyone was asking for like a dealership update from our last video, what would you say is going on? Anything?
Record sales, which turns into record profits.
We're getting more inventory.
We're getting more product. Yeah, the car business has been, it's a really dynamic business. It's changed since COVID. So during COVID, we had to learn how to sell cars when we weren't allowed to have people in our store.
And when you didn't have
we weren't allowed to have test drive. And then we had to learn how to sell cars when we didn't have inventory. And so now we're shifting back to we're selling cars when we have some inventory.
People got to learn to sell cars again.
Yeah, we've been working on that.
Yeah.
Like that's been one of those things. Like it's, we had 18 months where if you had a car, you were going to sell it. Now it's, you actually have to show the value and the features of the car and build some value so people want to buy it. Yeah.
Overall, what do you think of the auto industry?
I love it. I love being in the car business. I never not look forward to coming into work. Part of it is because we have a great team. We laugh a lot. We have a lot of fun.
There's never a day where I'm not laughing. That is for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think you just come in and have fun all day.
Yeah, I do. It was not always like that, but now definitely, and I love.
It's way better than crying every day.
Love what I do right now. Yes.
Yeah. But no, if you're watching this video and you're wondering what should I do with my life, the automotive industry is a great industry.
Well, it's very dynamic. It's got fit for everyone. Like depending kind of on what your strengths and weaknesses are too, and there's always opportunities for improvement and refining those skills too. So I feel like most people really can fit into the auto industry in some capacity,
Yep.
Because it's very broad. But what's it like owning a dealership?
I love it, and when you do it right, it's profitable.
Okay.
When you do it wrong, it's not.
It's not.
So.
So industry standards, like how are dealerships run?
Yeah, so the Canadian Auto Dealers Association publishes metrics as far as, if you're a new car franchise, what you should be making in profit, return on sales, what your margins should be. And so there's a bunch of analytics that we make decisions on. And I'm definitely an analytical person. I like the numbers and make decisions based on the numbers. And so, yeah, that's how we do it. But the car business is interesting because it's a bunch of different businesses under one roof. Yeah. So we have new car sales, we have used car sales, we have service, and we have parts. And then I guess finance, which supports new car and used car sales. And so all of those are almost like little different companies that
What's your two breakdowns? You got fixed and you got variable.
Right, fixed and variable. And so, we're also a business that does a full financial statement every single month.
Yeah.
And part of it is because millions of dollars come through the company, and so it gives you opportunity to take a look and see what you're doing well and what you're not doing well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, but I went to school for it, so.
Okay.
Does it make sense for you guys? For people who are listening, hopefully. So that's kind of the industry standard, but we definitely do a couple things differently, and even think more general for industry standards as far as things are run.
So, when you run a business, then the number one thing you have to keep in mind is that you're dealing with people, your coworkers and the people that are your customers. And you just need to look after people. You need to care about people. And so the traditional business model is, okay, I sell this car and make $200 and now it needs a repair that the customer's asking us to do and it's $500. So I'm minus 300. And if I'm just looking at the business model, I'd be like, yep, sorry, I can't do that. But you have to just look at what is fair and what is reasonable. What are the, if I was that person, what would I expect?
Yeah.
And so years ago, I read a book called You Will Be Satisfied by Bob Tasca. And he just talked about set the business case aside and just focus on the people case. And so that's pretty much what we've done. We've adopted that, our goal is to provide an exceptional automotive ownership experience. And the question I ask all the time is, what is fair, what is reasonable?
Yeah.
And when someone's being unreasonable, we talk about it. When someone needs something and it sounds fair and reasonable, we do it. And at the end of the day, people reward you with their business, and you grow and hopefully make a little more money.
Hopefully,
so
in the future.
That's, that's one of the main things. And so we had to determine who we were. And so, we adopted a mission statement, we adopted core values, and in our core values, it kind of said, okay, this is the type of person that we want. They have to have these characteristics. And if they don't have them, no problem, they just won't fit in here.
And that's on the staff level, right? Not customer
That's
level.
on the staff level.
There you go.
And, and so we were looking for people that fit this mold. And once I adopted that, it changed how I hired.
Definitely.
Which meant that I got better people, which meant that we did a better job.
Yeah.
And ultimately grew.
And people were being taken care of.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can you tell us our core values? Can you give us stick pack? That's our acronym.
No, I can't.
Awesome. So good.
Yeah, I can. So,
anyways, visit the Brantford Kia website to see them.
We talk about servant leadership. We talk about teamwork through trust and respect. We talk about integrity. We talk about commitment to customer enthusiasm. We have a passion for winning. And what's the other A?
We do
accountability at all levels.
We do that one.
And commitment to continuous improvement. And so those are basically the headings of our core values. And so when we have people that are willing to do all of that, we know that they're going to fit in great with our team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that we have had as far as, like, when it comes to being fair and reasonable, how do you draw the line between not being taken advantage of? Yeah, that's a fun one, eh?
So early on, I think I probably fussed more about being taken advantage of by a person, and I kind of just set that aside. And like I said, I stopped worrying about the dollars and cents of the transaction and just thought, what is fair and reasonable? Guy buys a used car, I sell it to him for almost no profit, and the air conditioning breaks on day 20. Is that my responsibility? And if I was a consumer, whether it was a cheap car or not, and that was the money that I'd spend, I kind of want the car to work.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So, we would look after it, but we also define what we do in what time frame. It's not unlimited goodwill, and we also look at those who support us.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's someone that doesn't want to use their resources to support us, it's hard for me to do that in the backwards. I've got customers that do everything here, and if they need something, whatever they need, just look after them.
Yeah.
And so, we first look at what is right, what is fair, what is reasonable, and then we add in some of the other things like, are they a good customer? Do they support us? Do they not support us? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Any other challenges, you think?
I mean, early on, the challenges were getting great staff. And like I said, when we defined who we were, that was when we started attracting the people that we wanted. And so if you think of, during COVID, you started in the service department, which was a tough job, and you pretty much cried every day, and people were upset and angry.
Now listen, we actually have a really fantastic customer base here. Like, we have a lot of really great people. However, something I noticed is COVID absolutely brought out the worst in people, and they were looking for anyone to take it out of on the retail end. And also, like, I balance that with the fact that automotive repairs aren't fun. Like, there's way more things that are more fun to spend money on than,
But that was
car,
a special time when you see at your local Dairy Queen sign saying, please be nice to our staff.
How can you be mad when you're getting ice cream?
I know. I mean, I can see when you're paying for repairs on your car, I guess.
Ice cream, yeah.
So that was a kind of a weird time where, like, there was just so much pressure and stuff. Anyways, what that did was it highlighted weaknesses within our process and people. And because obviously I adore you, if you go home and cry every day, there's something wrong. And so I installed myself
on... It's only most days, guys. Don't worry.
I installed myself on the service counter with you, and we figured it out together. And then, we're able to bring in some better people. And now it runs with very little interaction, and they know that they're there to look after people.
And they do a really good job.
They know that if they need to discount a repair order or do something different because something didn't go the way it should, then they do it.
Yeah.
They're doing their best to look after people.
Yes, definitely. So wait, okay, here's another one, because we haven't talked about this yet, but when it comes to business models of dealerships, salespeople are usually commission, right?
Usually.
What do we do differently?
I decided, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 years ago to pay our salespeople on salary. And it's still a performance pay plan. Like, at the end of the month, the profit they contribute to, they get a bonus on. The volume they do, they get a bonus on. But they also get a bonus on customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
And so they get rated by our customers. And, we benchmark it and we see, that impacts their bonus. So they're incentivized to look after people. And my reason for switching to this was, let's say we got a car out there that you can make $1,000 commission on. Well, everyone's going to be trying to sell that car, whether or not the buyer's right for that car or not. Versus maybe this car over here where you're only making $100 commission is a better car for the customer, but I want to make the $1,000.
Yeah.
And so I've just taken that out of the situation.
Well,
we want them to get the
off.
Volume, find the right car, look after the customer.
Yeah.
And in doing so, our sales team is making a really good living. Our customers are happy. And at the end of the day, it just seems to work.
Yeah.
It works for us.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And we have a lot of salespeople who've stuck around for a long time. So we got
sometimes they leave and come back.
Yeah. 3 times. We've got some critters, which is very, very fun. What else? Okay. Let's talk about stereotypes, because there's definitely a lot of stereotypes in the auto industry. Can you give them quick fire?
I mean, I remember starting in the car business in 1996, and I was 20 years old, and I'm thinking, who are these guys? Why are they? These are supposed to be professionals, and they just weren't good. And
And it's like that in any industry.
It can be, but the car business wasn't known for being honest. And like a lot of that has shifted since we became regulated by OMVIC, Ontario Motor Vehicle Industry Council. And so now to get a license, you have to take an ethics course. You have to take a course on what you can and cannot advertise, because we're all in advertising. There can't be any extras or added fees and stuff beyond what you've advertised. And so it's definitely raised the bar as far as integrity. And and then honestly, look for when you're looking for a car, look for organizations that care about their staff and care about looking after people.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a shift that way. Not everybody is that way, but there's a shift. Certainly, we've seen some of the stores selling cars at $10,000 over MSRP because in the last 18 months there was a shortage, and while that may not be illegal, I chose not to do it.
Yeah, just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's necessarily the right thing to do. Like, doesn't mean it's moral. Doesn't mean it's ethical.
So that's the business model of, hey, I can make tons of money right here, instead of, if I gouge this person, they're probably not going to spend more money in the future. And we did this analysis of a customer that had an issue in 2007. Yeah, 2007. Okay. Sorry, jumping decades. And we comped them an oil change, for $50 or something like that. And that family did 11 transactions with us and did tons of service business with us and generated something like $30,000 of profit, all because we looked after them for $50.
Yeah.
So, the business model, hey, I can make $5,000 here, but I would rather make a fair profit and get a bunch of them than, crush it on one and then someone's gone. Like, it would be seared in my mind if someone gouged me.
Yeah.
I'd never go back. And so, that's the difference between the business model and the people model.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Last question is, what is one thing that you wish people knew about the auto industry?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. And, you go online and you see a car for $40,000 and you're thinking, I bet they'd take $30,000 for it. They're making $10,000 on that car. But in our world, we're making 5%.
Yeah.
So the $40,000 car, we have a $2,000 margin.
Yeah.
And so it's different across different brands. Like, Porsche may have 10 or 11.
Domestics have
have more
margin.
But, Hyundai and Kia, it's a pretty modest margin.
Yeah.
And so,
well, that's because the vehicles are priced to sell too. Like, they are priced to be more affordable.
Yeah, like if you take the Kia or Hyundai model and compare it to any of the domestics, we're lower price, more content, better warranty, and probably better reliability rating. So yeah, you're probably not going to get $5,000 off the car. We may not discount at all depending on availability. So.
Okay, here's another question.
I thought that was the last one.
No, I lied.
Okay.
Because this is my one thing that I kind of wish people would remember is, like, it's not wrong for a business to make money. It's wrong. It can be wrong how they go about it sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, we're all working.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone's trying
to
make a living.
I show up to feed my family and help others do the same. And if you don't have profit, it's hard to look after people because there's times where, like I said, I'm doing the $1,500 repair on someone my margin was only $500, so I'm going backwards. But because I've done a bunch of transactions where we've made some profit, then we're able to invest in looking after people.
Yeah, exactly. And it all comes from how you treat people too, that's how.
Yeah, I mean, my team knows that they're really important to me, but as important to me as they're number two. My customers are still number one. And so we talk about that all the time so that, hey, look after people and the business will do well.
Yeah. Wow.
So there you go.
Anything else? Closing thoughts?
Brantford Kia is here to deliver an exceptional automotive experience, and if you want to buy a car from us, I don't object.
Read about Stick Pack on the Brantford Kia website. Read about our
That's an
mission
acronym
statement.
for our
core values.
Our core values.
So
yeah,
it's there. But thank you guys so much for joining us today, and hopefully you learned a little bit about how we do things here, and hopefully you'll come back and aren't scared.
Maybe you'll try the car business. Who knows?
There you go.